Well, my computer is working slow on a Wednesday. All right, everyone, welcome to the 187 District Court. This is the 187 District Court. Today is Wednesday. Don't make it into a Monday. These are the rules of the 187 District Court. You are in a courtroom, whether you're at the jail, whether you're at your house, whether you're Zooming from your home or wherever you're Zooming from. Whatever you could not do if you were physically in the courtroom, you cannot do on the Zoom screen. If you behave unprofessionally on this Zoom screen, your Zoom privileges will be revoked. You will appear in court. So what do I mean about behaving professionally? To all the inmates, you're not to use the chat box. If you use the chat box, you're sent back. To everyone else on this Zoom screen, including inmates, you're not allowed to use this Zoom to pick up dates. And I know what you're saying. Why would she say this? Because people have tried to do that before. This is not the Bachelor. This is not the Bachelorette. It is a courtroom. If you are at your house, you are not to be cooking. You are not to be working. You are not to be laying in bed. Again, if you do anything that's inappropriate, I will revoke your Zoom privileges and you will be required to be in the 187 District Court today. It's at 300 De La Rosa. I'm going to open breakout rooms. When I open the breakout rooms, it will invite everyone to go to a breakout room. Do not go to a breakout room unless I specifically call you by name and assign you to a breakout room. Again, do not go to a breakout room unless I specifically call you by name and assign you to a breakout room. To all defendants and those who are accused, your name will not be called. Your attorney's name will be called. If you do not hear your attorney's name, it's because they are Zooming in another courtroom. Please do not raise your hand after I call the attorney's name and say, my attorney's name has not been called, because I told you they're probably Zooming in another courtroom. The only attorneys' names that will be called today are attorneys that are actually on the Zoom screen at this point in time. And to everyone who's at home, please turn on the lights. You're not in the witness protection program. If you are, you probably should not be on this Zoom screen. The other thing for attorneys, if you have a plea bargaining agreement, you need to put that in the chat box to the court coordinator. She's listed as Ferguson coordinator. If your client is on bond, we'll need your client's email address as well. And when you put things in the chat box to Ms. Ferguson, she will need to know whether or not your client is receiving regular probation, deferred adjudication, or if it is straight time so that she can get the appropriate paperwork together. All right, I'm going to call the attorneys' names: Jason Nitz, Leo Gonzalez, Roberto Ambrosino, Arlene Gay, Leslie Hurst, Melish Christian. Is there any defense attorney's name that I have missed? All right, attorneys, there are more of you than there are prosecutors. Please put some patience in your pocket when I send you to a breakout room. Think of those breakout rooms as the doctor's office. When you go there and you get called to the back, you're not seeing the doctor. They're just checking your weight and your blood pressure. So put patience in your pocket, take it out as needed. If you leave the breakout room, the prosecutors will see that the breakout room is empty and they're going to skip over that room and go to the next person. So attorneys, as I call your name, I need the name of your client and I need to know whether or not it is criminal trial division or family violence. Jason Nitz, you're on mute.
Criminal trial division. I've been talking with Tom and my client is Tyrese Jackson.
I'll send you to breakout room number 2.
Thank you.
Leo Gonzalez.
Your Honor, I have George Mahan. This was criminal trial. I've been talking with Marcus.
You say Mahan?
That's correct, Your Honor.
How do you spell the last name?
M-A-H-A-N.
I'll send you to breakout room number 3. Roberto Ambrosino.
Good morning, Your Honor. I have Felipe Salazar. It's a motion to revoke. It's criminal trial.
I'll send you to breakout room number 4. Arlene Gay.
Good morning. I have Erin Strum. This is a bond condition hearing. This is family violence.
I'll send you to number 5.
Judge, this is Marcus. Can you make me a co-host?
Okay, I didn't see you there. Let me make that happen. All right, Melissa Christian.
Good morning, Judge. I have Mario Guerra. We're here on a violation report. It is family violence, so I've been dealing with David Martin or Joe Ray.
All right, I'll send you to number 6. And Melissa. So anyway, my mom watches us every morning.
Yes, ma'am.
And so now Hunter, the prosecutor, wants me to ask my mom if I can make him a co-host. So I believe the answer to that is yes, Hunter. You are now a co-host.
Thank you, Judge and Mom.
Okay. All right. So Melissa, I've signed you to number 6.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, Leslie Hertz, we're still missing some paperwork from you. Who's your client?
Samuel Albert.
All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1.
Yes, Your Honor.
And we're waiting. I'm going to send your client to number 1. And I'm going to send the clerks to number 1 so they can tell you what paperwork is not here.
Very good, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. And then we have someone here for a compliance hearing. All right, thank you, Rebecca, for telling me that note. Juan Alvarez, where are you?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. How's everything going with you?
Got over getting over sickness, and thank God it wasn't COVID, man. I don't think I could beat it again.
Okay. All right. They have a question. You're set here for a compliance hearing
Yes, ma'am.
because there's an issue. Where are you going to reside?
Right now, I'm currently staying with my father. I've been trying to get work, but due to the fact that I have
No. When I say where you going to
No,
reside?
Judge, this is the one that the attachment. Ronnie Lopez is the residing issue.
Okay. Just 1 second. Let me
Yes,
see
ma'am.
if my printer will print.
I'm very sorry, Judge. I didn't mean to cause you more work.
Oh, no. Let me just tell you, this is what the taxpayers pay me to do.
Roger that, ma'am.
All right, it took forever for this printer to print this out, Rebecca. All right, so this is what we have. We have you being exited. Let me do this. All right, this is what the issues we have.
Yes, sir.
It says here that you were exited from BIPP due to poor attendance on July 7th, that you submitted 2 diluted urinalysis for marijuana and you tested positive for marijuana. So what's going on and why are you not doing what you're supposed to do on probation?
Oh, ma'am. I'm sorry, Judge. Your Honor, I was not aware that I do CBD for some of my injuries that I sustained in the military, and I was not aware that makes you.
Well, I mean, I'm sure they told you, and the reason why I'm saying I know they told you because they're saying you were diluted and you tested positive.
Yes, ma'am. When I went right after work. I had got a construction job, and during the day, I drink tons of water. The humidity is ridiculous, and I wasn't aware of any of that mess. I've never done this before. I've never had any issues before.
Well, you can't do that anymore. You understand?
Yes, ma'am. I do, ma'am. I am sorry, ma'am. I deeply apologize.
Now, what is up with you not doing the BIPP course? The main thing to do is the BIPP course because you're on probation for assault. That course must be completed.
Yes, ma'am. No, Roger, Your Honor, and I was doing great. Like I said, I can only get construction work, and I got a nail through my foot. I'm very clumsy. I was on the second floor and I stepped on a 2x4.
No, no, no.
nail.
Let's go back. All right, you've been in the military, so you know what matters is completing the mission,
Yes, ma'am.
right?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
your mission is you're supposed to complete the BIPP course.
Yes, ma'am.
So you have been excused from that course and kicked out of that program because of poor attendance, which
Yes, ma'am.
means you're not attending. And I know for a fact, because I know about the BIPP course,
Yes,
that
ma'am.
these are not surprise dates that you have to appear. They don't call you on a Monday and say, oh, by the way, just so you know, we're having class on a Friday, and you show up on Friday and then they call you Tuesday. Oh, by the way, we're having a course on Wednesday. I know that's not the way it works. The way it works is you have a schedule of classes that you need to attend. You already know what the dates are. You are on probation for a
Yes, ma'am.
family violence case. As a part of that, you need to attend the BIPP course. So why are you missing classes?
It's a failure on my part, ma'am. Really, to be honest with you, I didn't have a ride, a way to get there because of where I stay. But now I'm able to, I have somebody that's willing to help me with that, and I should have no issues. Today at 10:15, I'm gonna go back and talk to Mr. Gonzalez so that I can sign up again for the class, ma'am.
When is this happening?
Today at 10:15, Your Honor. 10:15 a.m., ma'am. With Mr. G. I was halfway done with the course, Your Honor. I was almost there. Unfortunately, I got hurt. I spent like a few days in the hospital, and that made me miss.
So you're going to be there today at 10:15 a.m.?
Yes, ma'am, to go sign up again. Yes, ma'am, that is correct.
All right, Rebecca, for Mr. Alvarez, he's to sign up to the BIPP today at 10:15 a.m. So we're going to get him out of here so he can do that. Now, are you taking care of your mental health issues or no?
Yes, ma'am. As a matter of fact, I hate to say this, but about 15 minutes ago, I got a call to set up my next appointment. Unfortunately, I could not answer, but I did send them an email stating that I will go in today so that I can continue to work on it.
All right, and who are you working with?
If I don't know if I can like minimize this screen and log into my emails because I don't know her name, but
No,
I
that's
have
fine.
it.
No, here's the thing. It's like you've got to let probation know that, right?
Oh,
So
okay.
that probation will know that you're doing something, because I ordered you to take care of your mental health.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
if you don't let them know that, then that means that you're not doing it. And that means that we get another report. You understand?
I do now, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right, Rebecca, is there anything else we need to discuss with Mr. Alvarez?
To work on payments, just he hasn't done any payments or community service hours. Just a little something each month.
Yes.
I'm paid up in full, ma'am. I paid yesterday.
Oh, you
Okay.
paid yesterday? Okay.
I'm paid up in full.
All right. And then with the community service hours, I mean, community service hours are like giving people gifts at Christmas. Like you always feel good when you give gifts at Christmas, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And community service hours are like that. It may be a hassle. You may like, got to do community service. But after you do community service, I know you always feel good about it because I do, right?
Awesome.
So-
Yes, ma'am.
All right. If there is nothing else, Rebecca, do you need to speak with him?
No, ma'am.
All right. So go forth and make your appointments, okay?
Hey, thank you, Judge Boyd. I'm very sorry to take up your time again, ma'am.
No, this is not taking up my time. This is what I do. If I didn't like what I did, I'd do something else.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Good luck to you. And if the key to being successful on probation is communication, if there are issues, you need to let your probation officer know, because otherwise they'll think that you're not doing anything. And then what ends up happening is I get a report and we have a face-to-face visit. You understand?
Yes, ma'am. I do not want to see you in bad circumstances. So next time I see you, I hope to finish this and I can move on.
All right. Thank you. Have a good rest of your day. Okay.
You too, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Right.
Yeah.
Bye.
Can I leave?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Your Honor,
Yes.
can I be placed back in the breaker room with my client, Mr. Mahan? We got kicked out.
All right. Let me see. You were in number 3. I'll send you back to 3.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Judge, I think the other compliance hearing is on Ronnie Ray, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Let me find his.
Yes, ma'am, I'm right here.
Just give me a moment.
Okay.
Hopefully it won't take my printer so long to print out, Rebecca.
And this is the email, referring to the email.
Okay. All right, Mr. Lopez,
Yes,
you are
ma'am.
here because we have some issues. You're on probation for burglary of a habitation.
Yes.
That's 5 years deferred. So you know what that means? That means if you are revoked, I could send you to prison for 20 years. You understand?
Yes.
All right. So the issues we are having with you is nobody knows where you're going to live. Are you going to be living in Hondo? Yes or no?
Yes, I have to live here in Hondo because I got a protective order against the victim.
No. My only question for you is, do you want your probation transferred to Hondo? Yes or no?
I think it'll be easier for me to be transferred over here until I can find somewhere to live in San Antonio.
No. That's not my question. My question is either your probation is being transferred to Hondo or not. So don't give me this business about there's a no contact order, because there are plenty of people who are on probation who have no contact orders. They just don't have contact with the person they're living with. San Antonio is a big city the last time I checked.
Yeah,
And
but I ain't got big money like that.
I'm sorry, what?
I don't have big money to live in that big city and to pay
San
the bill.
Antonio has an extremely low cost of living. Who are you
Yes,
living with in Hondo?
at my mom's house.
Does your mom want you there?
I have no car. I have no job, no nothing.
That's not my question. Does your mom want you there?
I mean, she don't mind if I stay here.
How old are you?
35.
Yeah. See, I'm gonna put a stop to this right now because you're not gonna be 35 living off your mom. That's what you're doing right now. You're living off your mom.
Yeah, because
That's
I
not
can't
gonna
go,
happen.
I can't go home because I got a protective order against. I can't go
As it
back home.
should be. I
Excuse
mean, if
me.
you have a protective order against you, then that protective order should be. So here's the thing. I am not going to allow you to be living with your mom and not contributing. You're not contributing because you're not bringing money into the home. You are a 35-year-old grown man who's not working, who is being supported by his mom.
I just got
I'm
out
not
of
going to
jail.
allow that.
I just got out of jail.
Yeah. Well, get a job.
Well,
What do you do all day?
I left this town like 5 years ago when I got out of prison. I haven't been in this town in about 10 years, 11 years, because this small town is nothing but gangs and drugs. And that's why I moved to San Antonio. But I got this issue, this case that I got. And now I can't live at my residence because, a night of drinking or whatever it was. I mean,
You just said a lot of sentences, but you have not answered my question. My question is, what do you do all day?
try to find a job. I just got, I just got out of jail. I'm a construction worker. I don't have a vehicle. My girl can't come over here and give me a ride over there because I got a protective order against her.
Well, that's no longer your girl. And if she has a protective order against you, that's
y'all put it
because
on-
there's
y'all put
been some violence. That's why, because there's been some violence. So here's the problem. You have a no contact order with Adrian Lara. Is that your girl?
Yes.
All right. The reason why you have a no contact order, and I put a no contact order, is because you were abusive to her. That's why you have a no contact order. So don't come on this screen pretending like you don't know why you have a no contact order. That's why you have one, because you've been abusive to her. Now, whether
Yes.
she wants to be with you or not, that's completely up to her. But what I'm telling you right now is while you're on deferred adjudication out of this court, you're not having any contact with her, period. So you are going to get a job and you're going to start supporting yourself and not depending on your mom supporting you. If that involves you picking up cans, then you're picking up cans. If that involves you working for less than minimum wage, then you're working for less than minimum wage. If it involves you digging ditches, then you're digging ditches. You are 35 years old. Do you have children?
Yes.
What are their ages?
I told you the last time that, I mean, I
What
got
are
my,
their ages?
they're teenagers and two of them are infants.
Yeah, and so basically what's happening right now is you're not even supporting your children.
I just got out of jail.
You're not supporting your children. They need to eat. Your babies need milk. So this is what's going to end up happening. You're not living in Hondo because they can't appropriately supervise you in Hondo. You are going to be in Bexar County. They're going to be home visits. It's going to be exactly what I ordered. There is going to be gang supervision exactly as I ordered. If there is CPS pending, you're going to be in compliance with CPS exactly as I ordered. I can't have you in Hondo because you can't be supervised in Hondo. That's what I'm being told.
What do you mean I
I'm being
can't?
told that if you live in Hondo, there is no gang supervision. Is that correct, probation?
If I live in San Antonio, I'm homeless.
If,
Where do you want me
if,
to, where do you want me to
if-
move?
Yes, Rebecca?
if he lives in Hondo, Bexar County probation cannot do field visits or gang supervision. If his case is transferred, it would be up to their probation department.
All right, can you check with Hondo and see if they have gang supervision there and are able to do field visits, Rebecca?
Yeah, I'll look up their number.
All right, thank you. All right, Michael Goins, who do you have? You're on mute.
Can you also press that button? You have to press that microphone in the middle.
Oh, he's in the courtroom, okay.
I'm in the courtroom, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
Yes, who's your client? Oh, don't
Cheyenne.
press anything now. Who's your client?
Cheyenne Fuentes, Your Honor.
Repeat that.
Cheyenne Fuentes,
Is it criminal trial division or family violence?
Criminal Trial Division, Your Honor. We're here on a bond motion this morning.
All right, just one moment. I'm going to send you to a breakout room. Courtroom, if you could go to breakout room number 7, please. And there was another attorney who zoomed in. Let me see who that is. Is there any other attorney who I have not spoken to yet?
Good morning, Judge. This is Alfonso Cabañas. I logged in a couple minutes late.
All right, who do you have?
I have Mr. Adrian Garcia, Your Honor. It's a family violence case.
All right, I will send you to breakout room number 8.
Thank you.
All right, and did someone, Rebecca, did you call me?
Yes, I did, Judge. They do both.
All right, then he will be in Hondo. Mr. Lopez, don't come back to Bexar County unless you have prior permission. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Rebecca, do you need to go in a breakout room with him or no?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 9 with probation. Everyone, just give me one moment, please. Rebecca, are you still there?
I'm still here.
Rebecca, also, I'm going to want him to have employment within 30 days. And of course, no employment as a home healthcare provider or with children.
Okay, can you make me a co-host so I can?
Yes,
to
I'm
them?
sorry about that. Yes, there you are. Everyone, just give me a moment. Yes, thank you. All right, Gail Calderalo.
Yes, Judge, I'm sorry. I had a bad connection, so you couldn't hear me, but I'm good now. I
no
have
problem.
Destiny Cortez on a plea.
I'm sorry, who?
Destiny Cortez, and it's on a plea on an MTR.
Is it criminal trial division or family violence?
I think it's family violence.
Okay, let me send you to breakout room number 9, okay?
Okay, okay, the plea is ready, but I'll go.
Oh, is the plea ready?
Yeah.
Well, let me do this. Let me send you to breakout room number 1. Ms. Ferguson is in number 1, and if you could let her know what's going on.
I will, Judge. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right, Jason Nitz.
Judge, I'm just waiting on Ms. Reyes. We need to chat.
Okay, Leon Gonzalez.
Yes, Your Honor, we have an agreement on MTR for revocation and time and credit.
All right, did you give that to Norma?
I let Marcus know and he passed it along to Norma.
All right, just give us a moment. Then Melissa Christian.
Yes, Your Honor, I need to approach on that violation report against Mario Guerra.
All right, just give me a moment on that. Arlene Gay.
Your Honor, I have conferred with Joe Ray, and we do not have an agreement on the GPS issue.
All right, everyone, just give me 5 minutes. I'm presiding judge this week, so I have different officers coming in. So if everyone will just give me 5 minutes, please. Good morning. Just 1 second.
Can y'all hear me? Okay, good. I'm just making sure my microphone works.
We can always hear you, Richard.
Oh, thank you.
All right, everyone, I'm back. Melissa Christian, I'll take up your matter first.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
it's a violation report on Mario Guerra.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, let me find that violation report.
Joe Ray, I just emailed it to you, by the way.
I got it. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, Norma, I don't have the violation report on Mario Guerra. Do you say you have the violation report, Ms. Christian?
I do, Judge. Would you like me to forward that to you or?
Yes, please.
Okay, give me 1 second.
And I'll put my email address in the chat box.
Okay.
I can do it too, Judge. I have your email.
Oh, thank you.
Actually, Joe Ray, can you just forward it to her from yours?
Yes, I can.
That'd be awesome.
And on violation reports, I don't do a record, but if anyone would like a record, I'm more than happy to do one.
I would like a record, please.
Okay. Let me print it out. Okay. Oh, I've already printed it out. All right, Mr. Guerra, can you unmute for me, please?
Yes, ma'am, here I am.
All right. And to the clerks, can I please have the court file 2021 CR 1198? Just one moment. Let me go get this file.
Morning, Ms. Christian.
All right, we're going to go on the record. And 2021 CR 1198, State of Texas versus Mario Guerra. Can I have the parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Joe Ray Garcia for the state.
For the defense?
Melissa Christian for the defendant.
Right, and are you Mario Guerra?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video. Any objections from the state?
Yeah.
Any objections from the defense?
No, ma'am.
All right, we're here on a first violation report. Have both the state and the defense received copies of the violation report?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, state.
Yes, Judge. On this violation report, there's a attached police report. A summary of it was that the complainant for the pending case, sexual assault, said that there was a friend request by the defendant on Facebook. She reported it, was scared, rejected it, and then blocked that request or the person requesting it. Obviously, in this type of offense, that would be something very worrisome and scary for a complainant to receive. It was rejected. We don't have any other information on it. So at this time, we just ask that the defendant be re-admonished and leave it up to the discretion of the court.
Okay. Well, that's all the state is requesting, Ms. Christian. Do you know anything, Ms. Christian, about this Instagram or your client on Facebook or any type of social media?
So here's what I'd like to put on the record, Judge, and thank you for the opportunity. My client vehemently denies any type of social media contact with this person before, during, after this alleged offense. And what I would like to inform the court is that this was an alleged Instagram request. In February of this year, Instagram installed a new feature where you can recover a deleted Instagram message within 30 days. So if the state or the court would like additional information, we would request that the court order the state or the probation department, since they're the ones that forwarded this violation report, to obtain this girl's phone within the next 2 days to be able to recover this alleged Instagram reach out that she immediately deleted, which we would suggest to the court is highly suspect. Why would you immediately delete something when this is an ongoing situation and you're trying to prove that somebody is making contact with you? So we would ask that if the court wishes to take this into consideration or in any way use this against Mr. Guerra moving forward, or the state does, that they be required to provide strict proof of this violation, because in our opinion, Judge, this never, ever happened. And I would also like to let the court know that I have provided to Mr. Martin a very specific, a general discovery request, but also a very specific discovery request, a first supplemental discovery request that goes to the meat of this situation, and has about 10 different very specific requests for documents related to this complainant and her medical situation. So I wanted the court to know that that is already on file, and Mr. Martin and I discussed that. So there are some things in the works on this case that we wanted to make the court aware of.
All right, so state, do you wish to subpoena these records from Instagram? Or does anybody wish to subpoena the records from Instagram?
Well, actually, Judge, I don't think it requires a subpoena. I think the state could call the complainant in and have her bring her phone in, and they could use that. There is a feature on the phone under the Instagram account that she says that this friend request came in on, and they would have the ability to recover that July 7th alleged invitation. So I don't think that it would require a subpoena to Instagram. I think they just need to get their complainant in.
All right, well, that is all on the record. Mr. Garcia?
Yes, Judge. Not at this time. I think it would have to involve Instagram with a friend request. I don't think there's a way to go back to it. It's different than a direct message. But at this time, no, we still have the same stance.
All right, well, parties can look into whether or not Instagram will allow you to see friend requests, even though it's deleted. I personally am unaware of that, but you learn something new every day. Brenda, as my mom once said, you are not alive if you're not learning every day. So, Ms. Christian, thank you for that. Mr. Guerra, no information has been presented to me that this actually happened or that it's true. I haven't been given enough information to make a determination that this happened. So I'm just going to let you know, if you don't know, I'm sure your attorney already told you, you're not to have any contact. Okay?
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Is there anything else from either side?
No, Your Honor.
All right. And while I have everyone here, I know we're coming back on August 27th for discovery issues. Is there still discovery issues ongoing?
There are, Judge. At our last setting, we talked about this, and I did indeed file the discovery motions that Mr. Martin and I had discussed. So he is aware of those motions. He got e-file notifications directly. So those are pending. I have not received any additional documentation from my requests. So I don't know what's going to happen on the 27th.
Okay. All right. I will see you then on the 27th. Thank you all for coming in. Thanks for your patience. We can go off the record because I always, so my mom will know. Mom, Melissa Christian is the one who gave me the beautiful bird pen. This is before I was a judge, everybody. but she always wears pins. And so I like your pin today.
Thank you. This is a gift from my sister. It's a fabulous frog.
It is. All right. Have a great rest of your day. And Mr. Guerra, just make sure you have no contact, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. You're all excused. I'll see you all on the 27th.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Ms. Christian.
All right. Jay Moritz, who do you have?
Hello, Judge. Good morning. I got it. Your poor clerk was working late last night. The email came out at 12:46. So I want you to know she's putting in extra time.
Hey, that's the way we do it in the 187.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. Gabriel Benjamin Garcia, I got the notice, and Clayton Chase Marr.
Okay,
I had
Gabriel Garcia, it has Jason Nitz listed. So, I'm sorry, no, you're right. So there's a request for a PR bond. I'll send you to breakout room.
Judge, I just did two. I just filed yesterday, two applications for writ. He hasn't been indicted yet, and it's been more than 90 days.
That's what I brought you in for. So I'm going to send you to breakout room number 11. And I put that on the state's radar so that we can take care of it, okay?
And then I guess, okay, that's
so
fine.
If you'll go there, please. And then
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm going to take Stacy Cross, figure out where you need to be.
Wanted to talk to Joe Ray.
All right, what's your client's name?
It's on Escalera, the plea that we took on Monday.
Judge, I need to talk to him too.
Okay, Miss Gail, I'm putting you in number 12. So he'll go to you before he goes to Miss Cross. Miss Cross, you're going to lucky breakout room number 13.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, and then Arlene Gay.
Your Honor, like I said,
Joe Ray, don't leave yet. Yes.
We don't have an agreement. So we'd like the court to hear this matter she's on partial house arrest, to change it to GPS tracking.
Okay.
She does not live in Bexar County.
Joe Ray. Please don't tell me he went to a breakout room. Curses. He went to breakout room number 12. As soon as he comes back, Miss Gay, we'll take that up.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. All right, Leslie Herbst. Is there a prosecutor available for this plea?
Yes, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Judge, it's Michael Goins. If I may say something quickly.
Now, just give me a moment. We're going to take this plea up and then I will take your matter up. Brenda, it's 2 cases. The court is calling 2020 CR 10550 and 2020 CR 10551, State of Texas versus Samuel Joseph Albert. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hunter Morris.
For the defense?
Leslie Herbst for Mr. Albert.
All right, and are you Samuel Albert?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video. Any objections from the state?
None, Judge.
Any objections from the defense?
No objections.
Mr. Albert, in each of these cause numbers, I'm showing you what's entitled defendant's consent to appear by video. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them? And did you electronically sign them?
Yes, ma'am.
And each of the cause numbers, the court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. In each of the cause numbers, counselor, I'm showing you what's entitled discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in each of these cases, and did you review those discovery with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
In each of the cause numbers, the court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Albert, in each of the cause numbers, I'm showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We waived, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented in 2020 CR 10550?
Judge, in both causes, the state is proceeding on count one, paragraph A, and waiving paragraph B. So that's 10550 and 10551.
Any objections to the state's waivers?
No objection, Your Honor.
Mr. Albert, in each of the cause numbers, I'm showing you what's entitled court admonishments. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them? And did you electronically sign them in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
In each of the cause numbers, you're charged with burglary of a building with intent to commit theft. Each of those charges are state jail felonies. The range of punishment for each of those charges are 180 days in the state jail facility, up to 2 years in the state jail facility, and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
In each of the cause numbers, you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
In each of the cause numbers, did you understand by entering these plea bargain agreements, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And in each of the cause numbers, did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, in each of the cause numbers, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
In each of the cause numbers, do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I believe he does, Your Honor.
In each of the cause numbers, Mr. Albert, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No, ma'am.
In each of the cause numbers, are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
In each of the cause numbers, are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
In each of the cause numbers, the court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. In each of the cause numbers, I'm showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney, and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
In each of the cause numbers, the court is proceeding on paragraph one. I'm sorry, count one, paragraph A only. They're requesting that your punishment be assessed at 14 months in the state jail facility. There's a $0 fine. There are no applications. These causes will run concurrent with each other, and the state will take in consideration 2020 CR 10552. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense is at the plea bargain agreement.
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
State is at the plea bargain agreement.
Yes, Judge.
In each of the cause numbers, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then Mr. Albert, in cause number 2020 CR 10550 to count one, paragraph A, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest, ma'am.
And in cause number 2020 CR 10551 to count one, paragraph A, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest, ma'am.
State, in each of these cause numbers, do you have any evidence to support the defendant's plea?
Yes, Judge. In each cause number, state would offer State's Exhibit 1 and evidence in their attachments.
Any objections?
No objections, Your Honor.
Mr. Albert, in each one of these cause numbers, I'm going to show you a document. That document is entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them? And did you electronically sign them in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that in each of these cause numbers, the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Then in each of the cause numbers, the court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments in each case, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing in each of the cause numbers?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Your Honor. We'd like to address the issue of credit, jail credit. There was
Yes.
a Bear County issued an arrest warrant, May 27th, 2020. At that time, Mr. Albert was in custody in Harris County. He was in custody from May 2020 to March 2021. So that was about 11 months. And he's been in custody 3 months. So he has about 14 months in custody. And we would like to get credit for that.
State?
Judge, I'm not aware of it being 14 months, but I have no objection to him getting that credit. I would just ask that those days be verified.
Okay. All right, Mr. Herbst, you'll need to get verification of those days. And cause number 2020 CR 10551, as previously stated, the court is finding you guilty. The court will sentence you to 14 months in the state jail facility. Court will give you credit for time served from March 27, 2020 through May 27, 2020 through March 20, 2021 in Harris County upon verification that the defendant was in custody for those days. Give you credit for any time served in Bexar County. This will run concurrent with 2020 CR 10550. And the court will take in consideration 2020 CR 10552. And cause number 2020 CR 10550, as previously stated, the court is finding you guilty. The court will sentence you to 14 months in the state jail facility. Give you credit for any time served. Give you credit for time served in Harris County from May 27th, 2020 to March 20th, 2021 upon verification. And your attorney will need to provide that verification, Mr. Albert. This will run concurrent with 2020 CR 10551, taking consideration 2020 CR 10552. Is there anything else from either side with regards to sentencing?
Just real quick, Judge, Mr. Earps, did he have any credit for time in Williamson?
I'm not aware.
Okay.
Mr. Albert, were you in custody in Williamson?
I've never been in custody in Williamson yet. I had to bond out when I got out of TDC. I had to bond out for Williamson, Bexar County. And I've just been back in custody since May 7th of 2021.
Your Honor, how would you like me to provide the verification?
All right, just 1 second. Let me address an issue. So you're saying you were in prison on May 7th?
I was in prison from April 20th, 2020 till March 20th, 2021. I actually got out March 26th, 2021, and I came back to jail with a Bexar County warrant on May 7th of 2021.
So how long have these cases been out? Have these cases been out since he was in prison?
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry.
State?
Sorry, Judge?
Have these cases been pending since he's been in prison? Because he's just testified or stated, he hasn't been sworn in, but he said that he was in prison on May 7th. And he was released from prison in April 28th, 2020. And he had all these cases and he had to bond out from prison. That's what he's saying. Does anyone know that? Learn something new every day. You're bonding out from prison instead of the jail, I guess, coming to pick you up.
No, I was picked up from when I made parole March 19th. Fort Bend picked me up on March 19th. I bonded out from Fort Bend. In Fort Bend, I was able to bond out in Travis County, Bexar County, and Fort Bend itself. And that's why I was released March 26th.
All right, let me have you raise your hand. Even though you've been sworn in, you have been sworn in by the clerks, but let me swear you in again. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand. When these cases were pending, were you in the prison?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. When were you released from prison?
I made parole March 19th. I was released from TDCJ custody into Fort Bend custody. And on March 26th, I was able to bond out from different shit. In Fort Bend, I was able to bond out in Williamson County, Travis County, and Bexar County, as well as Fort Bend itself.
Okay, I'm doing the math in my head. I believe his judgment is satisfied. Is there anyone who doubts that his judgment is satisfied?
No, Judge.
No, Judge.
All right, I'm going to show that the judgment is satisfied. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them and did you electronically sign them?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because it's a plea bargain agreement in each of these cause numbers, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And because this is a felony conviction in each one of these cases, and since you've been to prison, you should know this, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record, Mr. Albert. You need to stop stealing.
Yes,
Because
ma'am.
let me just tell you, otherwise you're going to find yourself in prison for the rest of your days.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're going to end up being the grandfather that people, when new people come into prison, they're going to say, ask Grandpa Albert. He knows the ropes. So if you don't want to be that person, stop stealing.
Yes, ma'am.
Want something, you work for it.
Yes, ma'am.
Judge.
All right. Yes.
Before we let people go, I'm looking at the stipulations and looking back at his credit. And I noticed that the offense date and cause 10550 is listed in our system as May the 16th, 2020. Is that what is included in the stipulations? Or in the, the judicial admission?
Which cause number?
Cause number 2020 CR 10550.
The stipulations you have on here, it's May 16th. I'm sorry, February 16th.
Okay, the stipulation in 550 is February 16th?
Yes.
Excellent.
Okay. You were terrifying me for a minute. I'm like, what? Okay.
I want to make sure that we don't have any incorrect dates in there.
Oh, no, I agree. Because there were a lot of dates going around. All right, with that, well, the record is closed. Mr. Herbst, you're excused. Norma, can you let them know that L5 can go back?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. And Mr. Albert, did he leave already?
No, ma'am.
Don't forget to ask him for your fingerprints, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right,
Thank you, everybody.
Don't steal anymore.
Yes, ma'am. Have a blessed day.
All right, you too. Just 1 second, everyone. Is there someone here on Cheyenne Fuentes or no?
This is Mr. Goins, Judge.
I'm in the
All
courtroom.
right, Mr. Goins. I have the agreement from the state, so I am printing that out. Just give me a moment.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Judge, did you want me to print them out for you or you got?
I've just printed it.
Okay, I'll delete mine then.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
But I'm probably gonna need you to do some printing because I think my printer has had it.
All right, just let me know, Judge.
Yeah.
Did you print out those last stipulations, Judge?
No, that was, no, I'm like, no, I can't do that.
I do apologize for the trees.
Yeah, apologize for the trees.
Sorry,
It's
Mom,
like-
for the trees.
Yeah. Okay, so both of you all in Fuentes, your agreement to a bond of $2,500, is that correct?
Yes, Judge, in both causes.
All right, Mr. Goins, I know you're in the courtroom. If you want to come back, you can obtain a copy of this because I've just signed it.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll see you in a few minutes, or I'll see Norma in a few minutes.
All righty, I require a mask when people come back to the office with me.
I understand. I had mine on. Your deputy said it was okay to take it off while I was on the computer.
Oh, no problem.
I'll see you in a second, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Thanks for your patience. Okay, the next person that we've been waiting for is Arlene Gay. Joe Ray, are you here?
I'm here, Judge.
Hi, okay.
Judge, before you take a plea, I would like to get a reset date on Tyrese Jackson. We're waiting on a TAP evaluation.
Just give me a moment. Arlene Gay on Strom.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that? Let me see. It's Aaron Candace Strom.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
She's
And
wearing a
where's-
purple shirt with the ponytail, dark hair.
Okay. We're gonna take this one up, Brenna. And everyone, I know everyone is in a rush, just be a little patient. Because I don't want to take anyone out of order. All right, the court is calling CM 085269, State of Texas versus Aaron Candace Sturm, STURM. Can I have parties announced for the record?
Ray Garcia for the state.
Arlene Gay for the defendant.
All right, and are you Ms. Sturm?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video. Any objections from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Sturm, do you have any objections to this hearing taking place by video?
No, ma'am. No, Your Honor.
All right, the court is in receipt of defense motion to auction and amend conditions of bond. State, have you had a chance to review that motion?
Yes, Judge.
Are both parties ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, defense, it's your motion. You may proceed.
Your Honor, we are seeking GPS tracking for this individual. The defendant, she does not live in Bexar County. She lives in a rural area, which the court previously allowed her to live when we appeared on 6/29. And the court had made previous orders that on the 25th that allowed partial GPS, but her location where she was going to be living changed outside of Bexar County on the 29th. The court dealt with a bunch of issues. So what we're seeking is that she be allowed tracking. Your Honor, this was suggested by her pretrial officer because it's very rural out there. She works in janitorial services and she goes to different places. However, when you're on GPS, even though you're at work, you can't make extra stops. You can't do that. You have to go from one point to another point without stopping. And we're seeking that she be allowed to be on GPS tracking. The alleged victim resides in Bear County. Your Honor, we do anticipate that there will be some family law orders, family court orders coming soon. They have a child, the alleged victim and my client have a child together who is under the age of 3. And so we just want tracking at this point, Your Honor, to allow her to move around, but also that everybody knows where she is, Your Honor. So that's what we're asking for today. We don't anticipate her coming to Bear County unless it's for pretrial services, for in-person court, whether it's the family law courts or the criminal courts, and potentially for a child exchange. So that's the relief we're seeking.
Yes, Judge, and the state is opposed. We believe that the partial GPS is reasonable in this situation, given the nature of the offense, and that at the end of June or during June, there's a pending violation of bond case pending on the same complainant. So given the time, it's only been a little over a month since that's happened, and the new pending violation and the nature of the offense, we believe it's reasonable and oppose the tracking and ask that she stay on partial GPS.
All right.
Your Honor, may I respond to that?
Yes.
Okay. The court dealt with the alleged violation, misdemeanor, on 6/25. And at that time, her attorney was Adrian Perez. This court ordered my client to, one, go take a drug test and also turn herself in, and which she did. And she remained in the Bear County jail for 3 days until she could be fitted with the leg monitor. And that's when the judge entered the conditions of partial house arrest to work. And I came in on the 29th. I was hired on the 28th to deal with the issue that the magistrate had messed up the paperwork, had not transcribed them to comport with your court order, which caused a problem. So the court's already dealt with the other issue. The state has not filed an information in this misdemeanor case. The date of alleged offense for the violation of protective order is 6/13/2021. So the court's dealt with that issue, and it is my understanding from conferring with the state and also from looking at that file, discovery file, e-discovery, this is a text message type situation, as opposed to a physical contact situation, Your Honor.
Okay, just one moment. Off the record for a moment. Hunter, I see your request for Fuentes to go to breakout room number 7. Fuentes, would you go to breakout room number 7, please? Inmate Fuentes, go to 7, please. Oh, everyone, just give me a moment, please. All right, so we're back on the record. Here's the court's question. Is there any objection for her having tracking, but she is not allowed in Bear County unless there's a court hearing, and she needs to give prior notice that there's a court hearing or prior notice that there is custody exchange if she's coming to Bear County for those 2 purposes? Would there be any objection to that?
None from the state.
No, Your Honor. The only thing that we would ask is that if a family law judge has, I think the court set up visitation wherever, that she follow that in that we would provide that order to GPS.
Yes. Here's the
folks.
thing, Ms. Stern. If you're coming to Bear County, you're only allowed to come to Bear County for 2 reasons only: for court or for custody exchange.
Yes, ma'am.
If you are in Bear County and it's not for court and it's not for custody exchange and you haven't given pretrial services prior notice, then there's going to be a violation report and I'm going to sign it. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
So with court in Bear County, you should have a date. With custody
Yes, ma'am.
exchange, you should know the date. So you
Yes.
need to give those dates to pretrial services or your attorney does. Yes, Ms. Gay.
Your Honor, I'm sorry to interrupt, but if we should have an in-person meeting in Bear County, that she'd be allowed to meet with her attorney. My office is in Bear County. Of course, this would be planned ahead of time. Could we potentially add that to the list?
Yes, but you will, any objections to that from the state? I'm sure you have no objections with her meeting her attorney.
If it's planned and stated beforehand, there's no objection.
So if you're meeting with your attorney, Ms. Gay, you need to let pretrial services know. So 3 reasons to come to Bear County: you're meeting with your attorney, you have a court hearing, or custody exchange. And with all 3 of those reasons, you need to give pretrial services notice.
Yes, ma'am.
If you come to Bear County and you have not given pretrial services notice, we're going to have a problem. And of course, Ms. Gay, if there's some kind of emergency, the court will understand, but it needs to be a real emergency. And Brenna, if Jordan Brown were here, he would know the movie quote that's running through my mind. We're saying your emergency is real, but I'm dealing with non-movie people. All right, so GPS tracking granted. Defendant allowed. In Bear County. For the following reasons: court dates, custody exchanges, and conference with attorney. Upon notice. Is there anything else? And I'm going to make you give a 48-hour notice because that's what pretrial services usually wants. All right, is there anything else?
No, Your Honor.
All right, then you're excused, Ms. Sturm. Ms. Gay, if you want a copy of that order, then just contact the clerks and they'll fax one over to you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good afternoon.
All right, thank you. Jason Nitz.
Yes, Your Honor. So we have there's a TAP evaluation scheduled, and we'd like to get that done before.
Who's your person?
Tyrus Jackson.
Why do we need a TAP evaluation? I do my own TAP evaluation. And it appears that there's been a TAP evaluation waiting since December 20th. I'm sorry, December 11, 2020. So I'll do the TAP evaluation.
All righty. I think we might be able to get an agreement if we can get the TAP evaluation done.
Yeah, I'll do it. I will do it today on this Zoom screen. I will find out what his drug issues are and what he needs, and if he needs treatment.
All righty. Can I be put in a breakout room with him?
Yes, I'll send you to breakout room number 8. Mr. Jackson, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 8.
Yes, Your
All
Honor.
right. Anita Kell, who do you have?
Michael Tristan, Judge.
Criminal Trial Division or Family Violence?
Criminal Trial Division, and we have submitted our application for pretrial diversion to Beatrice.
All right, I'm going to send you to a breakout room with Ms. Ferguson. Norma, could you go to breakout room number 1?
Thank you.
And we'll see where we are. And Mr. Tristan, if you'll go to 1. All right, Leo Gonzalez.
Yes, Your Honor. We have an agreement on Mr. Mahan. We've signed paperwork.
Okay, as soon as I get that paperwork, we will go on your case. And so, Leo, you have an agreement. Who else has an agreement?
I do, Judge.
All right, I'm going to send you all to breakout room number 1. To the clerks, if you could go to, I'm sorry, number 2. Clerks, if you could go to breakout room number 2, please. Mr. Gonzalez, if you'll go to 2. And Gail, if you will go to 2.
We're done, Judge. We have an agreement.
No, I need you to go to 2 so I can make sure that I have the paperwork because I don't have any paperwork from the clerks. All right, Alfonso Cabanas.
Good morning, Judge.
Yes.
I conferred with Joe Ray on Mr. Adrian Garcia, and
Yes.
we do not have an agreement, Judge. I think this is just a trial announcement or trial status.
All right, then what's going to end up happening is I'm going to send you to a breakout room with Joe Ray to confer on a trial date
Yes, Your Honor.
with Norma Ferguson. So I'll send you to breakout room number 1. And Joe Ray, could you go to number 1, please?
Yes.
All right, Roberto Ambrosino, you have the hand raised.
I do.
Yes.
Your Honor, I spoke with, I'm sorry, Mr. Guerra, Richard Guerra,
Yes.
on Felipe Salazar. My client is still wanting to plead not true on his MTR. So,
Your Honor, may I please request an in-person contested MTR for this? I have physical evidence that I need to introduce and at least 5 witnesses. I just think it would be much easier to do it in person.
Okay. Just give me a moment.
Thank you.
I'm going to send you both to breakout room number 1. Let Ms. Ferguson know that you need a contested MTR hearing date that's going to be in person, and she'll need to know how many witnesses you will have. So Mr. Guerra, if you'll go to 1, and Roberto Ambrosino, if you'll go to 1.
Yes, Your Honor.
And everyone just give me a moment. All right, anyone else? Then everyone just give me a moment, please.
Meredith, it doesn't look like Mr. Mars at the table or his chair is empty.
Oh, it's empty?
It looks like it.
I'll have Norma check.
Okay. And did you find out any more what we're going to do on Gabriel?
Yeah, let me put you back in a break, another breakout room with me, and then I can explain what I know.
Okay.
All right, Roberto Ambrosino, and then I'm going to take Destiny Cortez will be next.
Yes, Your Honor. I think my client is in a breakout room. He'll need to be pulled back out.
All right, your client is Salazar. If you could go back to breakout room number 4 and have him come out, please.
I would, but I think because there we go. Okay.
Yes. All right, Gail Calderado.
Judge, you
I
still.
keep mispronouncing your last name. I'm so sorry. That's why I call you Gail.
And
Yeah,
Judge,
just
don't
call me
forget,
Gail, that's good.
I'm sorry to interrupt, and don't forget you need to put Alfonso on the record as well for his trial date.
Oh, I will not. Alfonso, just give me a moment. And I don't see Alfonso Cabanos on here.
I'm here, Judge. I
All
apologize.
right, then just give me a moment.
Sure.
Who's on Gail Calderona's case?
It's Joe Ray.
Okay, thank you, Gail. Calderola.
That's it, Calderola, like call the roll.
I'm trying. That's why
You can call me Gail, Judge.
Oh, thank you. That's why I do, because I'm like, I'm going to butcher her last name. All right, the court is going to call 2019 CR 11203, State of Texas versus Destiny Cortez. Could I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Joe Ray Garcia.
For the defense?
Gail Calderola.
Okay, thank you. And are you Miss Cortez?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we're proceeding by video. Any objections from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Cortez, I'm showing you what's entitled defendant's consent to appear by video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Ms. Cortez, I'm going to show you what's entitled motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke probation, and First Amendment motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Destiny Nicole Cortez placed on deferred adjudication 2019 CR 11203 for the offense of injury to a child, bodily injury, intentionally or knowingly on December 12th, 2019 for a period of 5 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
Date?
On the First Amendment motion to adjudicate probation, violated condition number 1 on or about the 28th day of June, 2021 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Destiny Nicole Cortez, committed the offense of assault in violation of condition number 1.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
State waives the remaining allegations, Your Honor.
Any objections to the state's waivers?
No objections, Your Honor. Can't hear.
Okay. Did you understand, Ms. Cortez, by pleading true to violation of condition number 1, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 1?
Yes.
Court will find violation of condition number 1 true. Is there an agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. For revocation, adjudication, and a sentence term of 3 years TDC, we're also taking into consideration night mag number 620376.
Is that the agreement, defense?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Ms. Cortez, are you asking the court to follow that agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
No, ma'am. Yes.
All right, let me re-ask that. Ms. Cortez, are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the court will follow your agreement. The court will grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you to 3 years in prison. Take in consideration night bag number 620376. Give you credit for any time served. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no contact with April Guerrero, Josie, Josie Zapata. Is there anything else from either party with regards to sentencing?
None from the state.
Ms. Cortez, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And
Yes,
did you electronically sign it?
yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And also, because this is an affirmative finding of family violence, and this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Cortez, good luck to you. We'll go off the record. Ms. Cortez, I'm going to tell you what I tell everybody. You're at a crossroads in your life. If you want to spend the rest of your life in prison, Texas, as you know, will accommodate that. So if you don't want to be the grandmother in the prison, when new people come in and they say, who should you talk to? And they say, oh, talk to Grandma Cortez. You're going to have to make changes, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you, Ms. Cortez. Norma, can you let them know that L22 can go back?
Not Destiny. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Alfonso Cabanas.
I have excused, Your Honor.
Yes. Thank you, Ms. Calderola.
Bill, thank you.
I'm trying.
No problem. Bye-bye.
All right. Alfonso Cabanas, who are you conferring with?
Good morning, Your Honor. I was conferring with Joe Ray on Mr. Adrian Garcia, who is on the Zoom call.
All right, just give me a moment. All right, we're going to go on a record in 2020 CR 4632, State of Texas versus Adrian Garcia. Can I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Joe Ray Garcia.
For the defense?
Alfonso Cabañas, Your Honor, for Mr. Adrian Garcia.
And are you Adrian Garcia? You're on mute.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, any objections to us proceeding by video, state?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
No objection from defense, Your Honor.
Mr. Garcia, do you have any objections with us proceeding by video?
No, ma'am.
All right, state, have you tendered an offer to the defense?
Yes, Judge, we have.
And Mr. Garcia, is the court's understanding is that you're rejecting that offer, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you requesting a jury trial?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, have you received all the discovery in this case?
Yes, Your Honor, I believe I have.
All right, and the court will note for the record that the court received an acknowledgement of discovery on July 31st. My understanding, both parties have had a chance to confer on a jury trial date. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right, state, any objections to September 14th as a jury trial date?
No objections.
Defense, any objections to September 14th as a jury trial date?
No objections from defense, Your Honor. I'd just like to put on the record, I'm scheduled for a trial in the same court on the 14th. I'll contact the state prior to that September 14th date, just so they could notify me which of those two they're gonna go on.
All right, Mr. Garcia, do you have any objections to September 14th as a jury trial date?
No, ma'am. I'm writing it down right now, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Garcia, your court date for jury trial is September 14th. You'll need to be in the 187th District Court at 9 a.m. The 187th District Court is located at 300 De La Rosa. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so what date do you need to be in court for jury trial?
September 14th at the 187 at 9 a.m.
All right, thank you. We will see you then. Make sure you're dressed for trial.
Yes, ma'am. I will be. Can I be excused?
Yes.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, Roberto Ambrosino and then Jay Maritza, I appreciate your patience. Just give me 1 second and we're going to take you up and then it'll be Leo Gonzalez.
Yes, Judge.
All right, Mr. Salazar, Felipe Salazar, can you unmute for me, please?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, before we go on the record, it's my understanding that from speaking with your attorney and with the state that you would request a bond.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, is that correct, defense?
Yes, Your Honor, my client is asking for a bond to be set.
All right, and before we go on the record, Mr. Guerra, are you going to have any objections to defense's oral motion to have a bond set for Mr. Salazar? There will be no objections, is that correct?
No, he's entitled to a bond, though. I do hope the court considers that he missed his last trial date in setting the bond.
Yes, sir. All right, the court is calling 2020 CR 2521 and 2020 CR 2520, State of Texas versus Felipe Salazar. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Richard Guetta for the state.
For the
Roberto
defense.
Ambrosino for the defense.
And are you Felipe Salazar?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, defense, you have an oral motion.
Yes, Your Honor. My client asked me to request that the court set a bond. He indicated that he has 8 younger brothers and sisters that he does help take care of. And he's the oldest, so he needs to get back to them. So he asked me to ask the court to set a bond for that, mainly for that reason.
All right, does anyone address the issue that part of bonds is that it's enough money, right? Not to oppress somebody, but to ensure that they will appear. He was a no-show for court on May 19th. And we waited till 2:58 p.m. and that hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. So does anyone wish to address that issue? It's the elephant in the room. So let's address it. Why didn't he appear to court? And he knew he had a court date on that day.
I'm not sure, Your Honor. I would defer to my client on that. We did speak the day before about court the following day. I think he indicated that it wasn't intentional. I don't know if it was a transportation issue, but I would need to defer to him on that.
All right, Mr. Salazar, is there something you would like to say?
Yes, ma'am. It
Can
wasn't.
you raise your right hand for me, please?
Yes, ma'am. It wasn't
You
intentional.
solemnly swear affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, ma'am.
You can lower your hand, state your name for the record, please.
Felipe Salazar.
Just like this was just
All right,
right
defense.
before I got locked up.
Yes, Mr. Salazar, when we last were scheduled for court in May, we spoke the day before and then you indicated that you would appear. Can you please explain to the court why you did not appear?
Yes, it wasn't intentional for me not to appear in court. On May 19th actually was my little brother's birthday, and I was kind of, caught up with family and stuff. But I wasn't intentionally trying to miss court. That's really the reason I missed court, because it was my brother's birthday, and I really do take care of them from 9 in the morning, 10 in the morning. I got to make sure they get in school and stuff, because my sister just had a baby, my oldest sister, so she has to take care of her baby. She has a newborn, and I have to make sure they get in school and stuff. And it was my brother's birthday, so I kind of got caught up in that, and I forgot that I had court.
How old are you?
I'm 19 now.
We already had the number, you know what I'm saying? We already had a number, but.
Okay. Can I see state and defense in a breakout room, please? If I could see you in breakout room number 1.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we're back on the record in 2020 CR 2521 and 2020 CR 2520. My understanding, the agreement with regards to bond is to set the defendant's bond in each of these cause numbers at $20,000. Is that correct, State?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Is that correct, defense?
Yes, Your Honor, it seems like a reasonable bond under the circumstances.
All right, then each of the cause numbers, the court will set your bond at $20,000. The court is going to have full GPS in each of those cause numbers. This will be set for a contested hearing on August 18th. Mr. Salazar, if you make bond, you are to appear in the 187 District Court on August 18th. Norma, what time?
2 o'clock.
You are to appear at 2 p.m. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
187 District Court is located at 300 De La Rosa. It's on the 4th floor. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
What date do you need to appear in the 187 District Court for this contested hearing?
On August 18th at 2 p.m.
All right, I will see you then. If there's nothing else, Mr. Ambrosino, you are excused, and Mr. Salazar, we will send you back.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I please be excused?
Yes, thank you. And Norma 13B is going back.
Yes, sir.
Jay Moritz. All right, did you have a chance to confer with the state on this? And I just
Yes, Your
like the
Honor.
state to be aware of what's going on.
Both cases, Your Honor,
Okay,
on Clayton Marr and on Mr. Garcia.
all right, let me find the motions for that.
I have the motions for Garcia. I don't know about Clayton.
Yes, I
There's
have
no-
the motion for Gabriel Benjamin Garcia.
Correct.
And I
There's no
emailed.
motions on Marr.
Oh, okay. You're just saying that you're announcing. Gotcha. And then I emailed the court as well as defense and Brenna, the 2 exhibits the state has.
Okay. All right, and where is Mr. Garcia?
He is, I think it's 14D, Judge.
Okay, and before we do this, if I can see Jay, if I can see you in breakout room number 1. Let me find out where you are. And Meredith, if I could see you in breakout room number 1.
And Rebecca, can you join me in the breakout room?
Which one are you in?
8.
Okay.
And maybe who's with us? Oh, Marcus.
Yeah.
Marcus,
Yeah, what's up?
go back to, no, not Marcus, sorry, Tyrese. Go back to room 8. There's a button down below. There's a button down below where you can go, you join a breakout room.
All right, anyone else ready?
Your Honor.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry, just 1 second, Leslie. Leo Gonzalez. Leo Gonzalez, who has George Truman Mahan or Mahan?
It's Marcus.
All right, Leo, you ready?
I am, Your Honor.
All right, the court is calling 2019 CR 8385W, State of Texas versus George Truman Mahan. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Marcus Sanders.
for the defense?
Leo Gonzalez for defense.
And are you Mr. Mahan?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
All right, how do you pronounce your last name?
Mahan, long name.
Mahan, okay. We're proceeding by video. Any objections from the state?
No objection.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Mahan, I'm going to show you what's entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Court will
sir.
find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm showing you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you the same George Truman Mahan who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2019 CR 8385W for the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 less than 1 gram on July 31st, 2019 for a term of 3 years? Is that you?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, state.
Condition number 5, in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant George Truman Mahan did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of February and March 2021 in violation of condition number 5.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True, Your Honor.
We'll waive the rest.
Any objections to the state's waivers?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Mahan, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 5, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, not grant you community supervision, and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 5?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find violation of condition number 5 true. Is there an agreement?
There is, Judge, we're asking that you grant the motion, adjudicate and revoke, and sentence him to 9 months in the state jail facility.
Is that the agreement?
That is the agreement, Your Honor, with credit for time served. I believe he has 376 days in custody.
Mr. Mahan, are you asking the court to follow that agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, the court will follow your agreement. As previously stated, the court is finding violation of condition number 5 true. The court will grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you to 9 months in the state jail facility, give you credit for any time served, and the court will show that the judgment is satisfied. Next, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
All of the above, yes, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And also because this is a felony conviction, You're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
I understand, Your Honor.
All right, then, good luck to you, Mr. Mahan. With that, we'll close the record. Mr. Mahan, I'm going to give you the speech that I give everybody else. How old are you?
I'm 48, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Mahan, here's my speech for you. Internalize it. One, if you don't watch out, you're going to end up being the grandfather at the prison. When new people come in, they're going to say, how does this place run? And they're going to say, ask Grandpa Mahan, right? The other thing, there are plenty of places in San Antonio and throughout the United States that will help you if you have any type of drug or alcohol problem. All these programs are free. And when I say they're free, they're not 100% free because taxpayers pay for a majority of them, but you need to do that. You understand?
I understand, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, good luck to you.
Appreciate it. Good luck to you.
All
Your
right,
Honor.
thank you. Thank you for your patience. Everyone have a great rest of your Wednesday. Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes,
Thank you.
May I be excused, Your Honor?
yes. Norma, can you let them know that 13A can go back? Jason Nitz,
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Jackson, what is happening with Mr. Jackson? Are we proceeding?
Yeah, yes, Your Honor. We do not have an agreement.
All right, has the paperwork been sent? You need to get paperwork from Ms. Ferguson.
I've requested it.
Okay. Well, let me put you in a breakout room with your client. And Ms. Ferguson will send the paperwork to you. And I'll send you to breakout room number 2. And Norma, they need paperwork on a motion to revoke.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and Mr. Herbst and Mr. Morris, if I can see you in breakout room number 3, please.
Yes, Judge.
So that's me.
All right, anyone else ready? Norma, the attorneys we're looking for is Ernest Acevedo. Is that being reset?
Yes, ma'am. Can I send you a chat in just a few minutes, Judge? I'm going to finish up
Yes.
paperwork and I'll get back with you with who I've made contact with already.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, can I see the prosecutors and Brenna, if I could see you in a breakout room as well, if you all can meet me in breakout room number 3, please.
What are you, summer?
Jay Moritz. Hi, if you can go back to breakout room number 1, I'll meet you there with Meredith.
Yes, Judge.
Rebecca or Marcus, can somebody send me a copy of the judgment? So I can properly advise them the consequences. Or Norma, one of the
Yeah, give me a
three.
minute.
Mr. Garcia? Gabriel Benjamin Garcia, can you unmute for me, please? Just press the space bar, just hold it down. It's the longest bar, yes. Mr. Garcia, I had a chance to confer with your attorney and with the state. Your bonds in each of the cases will be reinstated, but I'm gonna place you on GPS. It will behoove you to do well on GPS. After 3 weeks' time, your attorney can come back and I'll reconsider changing your GPS from full to maybe partial. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Gabriel Garcia, good luck to you.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
Welcome. Norma, can you let them know that 14D can go back? All right, and Norma, we don't have Clayton Moore.
Okay, yes, ma'am. I told, give me a second. To let me know when the attorney is here, and I will call him up when to bring him out.
All right, we're ready on him then.
Okay, we'll call the jail judge. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Moore, they're gonna bring him out.
I'm on standby.
Thank you. You have a lot of patience in your pocket. I appreciate that.
Well, when I'm at my office, you'll see me. I'm still doing some things, so it's worked out. It's okay. It's great.
Okay. Yes. All right, everyone, as soon as somebody is ready, I will be ready. So Jay, we're just waiting for them to bring your client out.
Yes, Your Honor.
Judge, can I see you in a breakout room?
Yes. If you want to meet, we can meet in breakout room number 1.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Marcus, are you available?
Jason, who are you talking to?
You.
Oh, what'd you say?
Can we get a room real quick?
Yeah, I'll send you the 3. Hey, Jason, you didn't go to 3.
Norma, is the judge on break?
No, she's in a breakout room with someone.
Okay.
Jay, I see Mar in room 11. I don't know if he's actually there yet, but do you want me to put you in there just to see while they're in breakout rooms?
Did you say you see him in the room?
No, I didn't want to go in there without you. I just see that computer is in the room. I don't know if he's physically there, but I can send you there to check out.
Sure, let me see if I can.
Hey, excuse me, ma'am. Hi, can I go to a breakout room back with my attorney one more time? I
Jason, is that your client?
yes. I'm his client, Tyrese Jackson, for Jason Nitt's attorney.
Tyrus, 1 second, please. Just wait.
Oh no, I was about the signing the paper. I have this second one. Do I sign it?
Can you put us back in the breakout room? Sorry about that, Marge.
Yes,
I'll
please.
put you there.
No, she's about to put me in a breakout room.
You should still be able to go back to the same room, guys. Room 2.
How you doing, Mel?
Good. They should still be able to go back to room 2 because that's where they're assigned.
Yes. Give me a second. I have to switch them out to a different computer.
Oh, okay.
So that should take about 2 minutes. Okay. All right. Let me switch it.
What happened? Did we lose Tyrese?
He had to get on a new computer. That's what the
Oh.
deputy said, so they're gonna sign him back on.
Gotcha.
All right, do you need to be somewhere, Mr. Nitz, in a different breakout room or something?
I know my client apparently had computer problems and they're switching them computers, so I was just trying to find where he's at.
All right, just give us a moment. Mr. Nitz, your client is going to be in breakout room number 2.
All right, I'll be in there. Thank you. All right, Norma, you should have the paperwork there for Mr. Jackson. And there may be somebody in the waiting room set to testify.
Okay.
Norma, Mr. Marr is available now, and I've talked to him. We just need a brief time in front of the judge. And then I need to talk to the ADA Meredith briefly.
All right, Mr. Moritz, the court took a 5-minute break. What do you need?
Mr. Marr is now present. He's in the breakout room, and I've already
Yes.
talked to him. He says he wants to have me continue as attorney. He seems to be understanding, but I'd like the court to ask him a few questions in that regard because he had asked the court for a new attorney the last time. So
Okay, all right.
he was in breakout 11.
Oh, he's here now.
Yeah,
Mr.
there he
Marr,
is.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
how are you doing today?
I'm good.
Okay, all right, we're gonna go on the record just briefly. And it's just to determine whether or not you want the attorney you currently have, okay?
Good. Okay.
All right, the court is calling 2021 CR 6802B and 2021 CR 3427, State of Texas versus Clayton Chase Marr. Can I have parties announced for the record? Mr. Morris, could you stand in for a moment, please?
Stand.
All right. So for the state is Hunter Morris, for the defense.
Jay Moritz, Your Honor.
All right, we're proceeding by video. Any objections from the state?
None, Judge.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Marr, the last time we were here, you were requesting, I believe, another attorney. Do you wish to continue with Mr. Moritz as your attorney?
Yes.
All right. Mr. Moritz, did you want to ask anything else for the record, or is that enough for you?
No, Judge, we will probably ask for a 30-day at the most continuance. I've talked to Meredith and we've got a few things we need to clarify and may be able to work out something on this.
All right, just give me a moment. Miss McIntyre and Mr. Moritz, can I see you both in breakout room number 1, please?
Sure.
Yes, Judge.
And Mr. Marr, just give us 1 second, okay?
Okay.
Oh, I gotta move, look at it. Yeah, was it gonna be 2 on the SB side? Yeah, that's all that. Go back to 2000. I got work off at 6:30. ¿Qué pasa, digo? What? Done. Wes? Yes. Message popped up on the screen.
Proceed on Jason Nitz. Are we ready to proceed on your case?
Yes, Your Honor. There may be somebody in the waiting room. I'm just trying to confirm that.
No, there's no one in the waiting room. Are you need a witness or something?
Yeah, I was expecting a witness.
All right, what we can do is we can recall this back at 2. When are you expecting witnesses to come?
Well, they were supposed to be on line right now. Just checking my.
Right.
Oh, she said she's trying to log in.
All right, so let's start, and then when she logs in, I'll bring her in, okay?
Okay.
So, Mr. Jackson, if there's a witness that you want here, we'll make sure that they're there, okay?
Thank you so much, Judge.
Who's the prosecutor?
No, Marcus.
Okay. All right, Jay, are you done or you need to speak with someone?
No, may I be excused?
Yes, and Norma, can you let them know that they can take Mr. Marr back in number 2?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. All right, the court is calling 2020 CR 5704B, State of Texas versus Tyrese Jackson. Can I have the parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Marcus Sanders.
For the defense?
Jason Nitz.
And are you Mr. Jackson?
Yes, ma'am. I am Tyrese LeRoy Jackson.
We're proceeding by video. Any objection from the state?
None.
Any objection from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Jackson, I'm showing you what's entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video Conference. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. I'm going to show you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Tyrese LeRoy Jackson who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2020 CR 5704B for the offense of robbery on July 27, 2020 for a period of 4 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
Condition number 5, in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Tyrese LeRoy Jackson, did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of April and May 2021 in violation of condition number 5.
How do you plead to that, true or not true?
True, Your Honor.
We'll waive the rest.
Any objections to the state's waivers?
No, Your Honor.
All right, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 5, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, not grant you community supervision, and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 5?
Yes, ma'am.
Court is finding violation of condition number 5 true. Is there an agreement?
I don't believe so, Judge.
All right, State, what are you requesting?
We're asking that the motion be denied, but conditions be amended to order safety.
All right, defense, what are you requesting?
We're requesting that he be released. He was homeless at the time of when he was arrested. He now has a place to stay, and we're asking that he be continued, possibly with some outpatient treatment facilities. He's got circumstances with his soon-to-be born child that he would like to get out and address.
So when is this child due?
I believe it's September, but there's some complications. The baby's underweight, and his girlfriend is, wants him out for A, to help with financial support, and B, to emotional support.
How's he going to help with financial support when he's homeless?
Well, his mother, who is trying to get on right now, here to testify that she will allow him to stay with her and help him get any treatment that he might need. He claims he doesn't do drugs anymore. And they were in the process at the time of getting ID so that he could do temporary work.
How old is he? How old are you, Mr. Jackson?
26.
I am 21 years old, ma'am.
So my question is, why does he keep coming? First of all, he's coming in here shaking his head because, oh my gosh, I could be looking at 20 years in prison. When guess what? We were here on December 11th. He's been on deferred adjudication since July 23rd, 2020. The only thing that he has done of note is pick up motions to revoke. He was here on December 11, 2020 for a new number 1 case. I continued him, denied it, alternate amended. And now we're back here on August the 5th. The only thing he has done is he's about to have a child that obviously he can't afford to pay for, that obviously he's not there for. He's homeless and dependent on his mom to financially support him.
No, ma'am. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. May I speak if I can?
Oh, raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
You can lower your hand. Defense, do you have any questions for him?
When you were arrested, where were you located?
You in December?
No, recently.
I was by Super 8. I was by a motel
What is that location?
downtown.
Right. It's a homeless encampment, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. It's a homeless camping grounds where everybody.
And who were you with?
I was with my baby mama.
All right, so you were together.
Let's say the mother of my child.
Yes, ma'am. The mother of my child. I was with them. I'm sorry.
Have you been together with her since you found out she was?
Yes, we've been together since she's been pregnant.
All right, and what activities have you taken to secure work?
I have been working at a temp agency. Now, I can't say that
I am wrong for not showing any proof to my probation officer. That is my fault. I have not showed none for it. I can't say I proved myself for it, but I have been working with the temp agency. It is labor on demand. It's on Calabria. I still work there and I still have been working. I have been trying to submit for interviews. I've been going for job after jobs, but I've only been able to use off a mugshot. At first, it was a picture off my phone. I broke my phone and lost it. Then I had to go get a mugshot, which my mother, she is the witness. She can even, she'll tell you, she brought me up here to come get it so I can be able to get my ID, because most of my job interviews would not take a paper copy. So I've been trying, came up here to get my mugshot to go to the DMV. Since it has the Texas stamp on it, I can use that to get my ID, to get a hard copy into the mail, so I can make it even more easier for me to get a job for the support of my mother and my child and my children.
Okay, and
Wait a minute, what are you saying? My children? How many children do you have?
Ma'am, I have two. I have three. Well, one, I have a junior. I have a little boy, but he's in Florida with his grandparents.
Because, and he's in Florida with his grandparents because the mother of that child is not raising him, and neither are you. Have you paid any child support for that child?
No, ma'am, I am not on child support or nothing. She has not allowed me to even see him. I've been
What does that
trying
have to do with supporting your child? Does your child not eat?
Ma'am, I've been trying to get in contact with her to get in contact with my son. I've been trying to find her.
My question is,
yes, ma'am.
Does whether you see your child or not, does your child still need to eat?
Yes, ma'am, he does.
Does your child still need clothes, whether you see your child or not?
Yes, ma'am, he does.
So what we have before us is a person who, one, is homeless. You want to say that's not his fault. Two, he doesn't have his high school diploma, because I have here that he's supposed to get a GED. So we have somebody who dropped out of high school, and high school is free. We have somebody who's going around having children with people that he can't financially support. That's what I have before me. You can continue with your questions.
I'm sorry.
No, don't apologize to me.
No.
Apologize to the children that you have that you are not financially supporting. You have a child who's named Tyrese LeRae Jackson Jr., and what is attached to him now is a father who has a robbery case that he's received deferred for, who is not doing what he's supposed to do in order to successfully complete this deferred adjudication, who's looking at going to prison for 20 years. But instead, what is he doing? Continuing to have more children, not graduating from high school, not getting his GED.
Yes, ma'am.
so your current mother and your child, she's been having complications. Have you accompanied her to hospital visits?
Yes, yes, sir. I went to her BOV.
All right. And can you explain what the issues with the child are?
So far right now, being that I've came in, he's been underweight. He's underweight right now. He has a bone disorder. His bones are too small, but his organs are good. He's healthy. He's a stable kid. I've been doing my best to take care of her. So he's healthy, but she does have a specialist right now that she has to go to just to make sure she's okay.
And when you were on the street, were you looking for sanctuary?
Yes, I was. I've been trying. I went to Haven for Hope. They were gonna help me. Literally before we got locked up, it's been about a week so far. I've been trying to deal with them, but I'm not gonna lie, I've been also trying to most likely just dig in for more work. I've been working with a temp agency, 12 hours to 12. It's fresh to Texas. It's over by Nacogdoches. It's a freezer.
And
sir,
if you're able to get out and have housing with your mom, do you think you'll be able to comply with the requirements of your
yes, sir.
education, community supervision? Yes,
I do, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, no further questions.
State.
Mr. Jackson, what have you done so far to comply with your community supervision?
So far, I've done a couple of piss tests and Zoom meetings.
All right,
You're
let's
not
say
wrong.
your analysis. Why are we saying piss test? Doesn't that even sound horrific coming out of your mouth?
Sorry, ma'am. I'm nervous. My
Nope, this
mind's
is
not
what
right. This is
happens.
my
This is
fault.
what happens when people don't go to high school and at least get their high school education.
Yes, ma'am. You are not wrong.
They,
My vocabulary is it's not good, and I'll work on that. And I do plan on getting a GED, ma'am. It's gonna
So
help
you,
me a lot more.
so you said you took a couple of UAs. What was the result of those UAs?
To my knowledge, they were all good. They were all clean. I was not told by my probation officer that I came up dirty.
Okay, what else have you done?
I can't say I have done any fees. I have not paid fees. No, sir, I have not. I have not did any community service. No, sir, I have not.
Have
And
you
I am
taken any
not.
steps to getting your GED or diploma?
Yes, sir, I actually have. I've applied for school at the I'm sorry, it's right next to the UTSA building. It's a small school called at Navarro. It's Cooper at Navarro.
Okay, and where are you at in that process?
I'm not enrolled yet, sir. No, sir.
Have you been reporting to your probation officer?
Yes, sir, I have. I have
So
did my Zoom meeting.
Okay, why didn't you report for the ones that you just pled true to in April and May?
I don't know about the first one, April. No, it was March. That one I did not go to. I missed that one for the simple fact baby needed to, my mother and my child needed to go to the hospital because she said something was wrong. She was in pain. And in the second one, I cannot answer because I did not know I had that one. I have not heard from him for a little second until just recently. My mother told me that my attorney wanted me to contact him. And then I tried contacting him and I didn't get no answers. I tried to go to Windcrest where I take my UAs. When I take my UAs, and they told me to just contact your probation officer, and they told me to move. They didn't say move around, but they said no, they can't help me to contact my probation officer because due to COVID, they really are not trying to have many visitors up in there. Besides, unless you're coming to do a UA.
Why did you never do your TAP evaluation?
See that right there. When Miss Boyd released me, she told me I needed to do that. And when I got out to head straight to that building, when they released me after hours. So I had to go the next day to go do that. So the next day I went across the street from Bear County. And that's how I got my paper to, the information of my probation officer and everything. I was not in there no more than 2 minutes. I went in there. I went up to the back desk, this brown back desk where they stand behind, and they gave me a paper and they told me I'm good to go. That was it, sir. They didn't say anything else but to just contact my probation officer.
Okay, I guess ultimately the question is, this is the second time that you've been in front of the court since you've been on deferred.
Yes,
and
sir.
I know the last time the judge advised you that you could go to prison for up to 20 years.
Yes, sir.
Why is it different now when you keep having the same issues that you had before?
Sir, all right, it is different. It's the only way I can say it's different. And from my perspective, yes, you've not been there, sir, but I have not been around them same people I used to be around. I have been doing my best to just provide for my mother and my child and do right by the kids I have because I do not want to be locked up. I do not want to be in trouble. I'm actually trying to be good and I'm actually trying to do better. I can't say I'm doing better being that I'm here because it does not look great on my end. So you're not wrong. I am a dropout who's just been around just putting babies in. I can't say I'm wrong for that. But I am trying to get that fixed and I am trying to do right. Now, I'm not saying the sympathy
Mr. Jackson, do you use drugs?
No, sir, I don't, sir.
You've never used drugs before?
No, I have. You said, do I use them? I say no, because I'm not using them now.
When's
I
the
don't
last
do
time you
drugs.
did?
I have not done drugs within the last 2 to 3 years. But the last time, no, it was actually, no, I refresh my memory. It was in December. Last time I did
2020?
anything, yes, it was in December. That was the
Okay.
last time I remember. But I have not done nothing
And
that
so,
time being
Mr.
in
Jackson, so if
four.
you had a positive test in February of this
I
year.
can explain that, sir. I was
Okay.
around the wrong, I was guilty by association around the wrong crowd that was blowing smoke. Now, they are good people. Don't get me wrong. They are good people. This is an older head, and these are older. I don't like being around young people no more. Those are the people I cut off because they always get me in trouble, and it's the bad crowd I always attract.
And
So
Mr. Jackson, so are you
I
saying
got
that you were
secondhand
around people who
smoke.
were smoking?
Time out,
Yes.
Mr.
Yes, ma'am.
You're gonna have to wait till the question is finished.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
then answer the question because the court reporter cannot take down two people talking at once, okay?
Yes, ma'am. I apologize.
Okay, Mr. Jackson. And so what about the meth?
That too. I was around them while they were smoking it. It was secondhand smoke. No, sir, I did not smoke it. But I was in front of their face. But it was not the person that was smoking the weed. It was one of their nephews. Yeah, I know I'm not saying, yeah, these are good people because they do right, but yet they do drugs. I'm not very good on judging character. I can't say I can judge anybody by what they do, but I do judge them by the kindness of their heart and how they carry themselves. And they do carry themselves well. This old man
Okay,
has
Mr.
been teaching
Jackson.
me right.
Mr. Jackson, that's
Yes,
enough.
sir.
You answered my question. Thank you.
I'm sorry,
Pass the
sir.
witness, Judge.
I'm sorry,
All right,
sir.
defense.
No further questions.
All right, there has been someone who's come into the Zoom, Nikisha Hurd. Is that the person you were waiting for?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Hurd, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you can lower your hand. Mr. Jackson, I'm gonna mute from your end. All right, could you state your name and spell it for the record, please?
Nikisha Hurd, Nakeisha, Hurd, Hurd.
All right, defense.
Ms. Hurd, did you realize that your son was out on the street?
No, I didn't.
If you knew that, would you have had a place for him to stay?
Yes.
Do you have a place for him to stay?
Yes.
And you're willing to temporarily provide him with food and assistance in getting work?
Yes.
And had you helped him get work in the past?
Yes, I have.
Okay. And are you aware of if he's worked in the past?
He has worked in the past.
Okay. In the last, since December?
I honestly don't know.
Okay. But going forward, you're willing to support him until he can get back on his feet?
Yes.
All right. No further questions.
No questions, Judge.
All right, thank you, Ms. Hurd, for coming in. I just have a few questions for you, Ms. Hurd. Why did he not complete high school?
Well, he was staying in Austin with his father. So on that last little stretch that he did have going, I'm not exactly sure what happened from there. By the time he came back to San Antonio here with me, he was pretty much aging out of school, but he was adopted. So I didn't have him at that time.
All right.
So that's
what are his problems? Here's the thing, and this is where we are because I know you were not here. The state doesn't want to send him to prison. I'm assuming, and I think this assumption is good. I never assume. I know his defense attorney doesn't want him to go to prison, and he doesn't want to go to prison. But where I'm at is, this is the second time he's been before me. And he's come before me because he's not doing what he's supposed to do. So his behavior is as though he wants to go to prison, right? If I'm just looking at this just clearly and objectively, he's behaving as though he wants to go to prison because he's not following my rules. So what do you think his problems are?
Well, for one, right now, being homeless.
I'm sorry, you're muted. We can't hear you. We've lost you. Let me send her, everyone, I'm going to send her a chat letting her know that we can't hear her.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Well, yes.
So we've already had that he's homeless, but then the questions become, why is he homeless? Because obviously you're here. Why wasn't he living with you? Why was he preferring to be homeless?
Well, actually, he was staying with a friend of his, from my understanding, the last thing that I knew. I didn't know he was homeless. I'm just finding out that when he got arrested that he was homeless, but he was staying with a friend prior to this.
All right. Does he have any drug issues?
Not that I know of.
All right. Any other issues that I need to be aware of? Because here's the thing. If I don't know what his issues are, I can't give him help for them. And if he comes back before me again, and there are issues that I didn't know about, I will listen to them, but we're going to be in a different position because I'm giving him chance. And this will be the second chance that I'm giving him because the state and the defense do not want him revoked. So what are his issues?
The only thing that I could say as far as issues is, like I said, he didn't finish school. He has done drugs before, and I think that was a major issue for him because he just could not stay on task, being that he had that drug issue. Now, I don't know how his issue is now because he hasn't been with me, but yeah, I think if anything, he would need to take some drug classes and get back into school some type of way. I know he needs to get a job.
And what were his prior drug issues?
I know he smoked weed. That's about it that I know of. I don't know of
what
any.
Else? Mr. Jackson, you need to stop shaking your head. Okay, what other drugs has he done?
I know he smoked weed before, but I don't know of any other prior drugs or anything like that. And I know that from, just his teenage years coming up. So that's as far as I know about, his drug situation. Because when he was a teenager, I did have a problem with him smoking marijuana.
All right. And if he's living with you, are you going to allow his friends around your house or in your house?
No.
And do you have a landline phone?
Yes, I do.
All right. Any other questions from the state of the defense?
No, Judge.
All right, Ms. Hurd, thank you for coming and giving me some insight. All right. Is there any other witnesses from either side?
None from the state.
None from defense.
All right, state, what are you asking for?
Judge, we're still asking for safety. He hasn't shown any indication that he'll follow through with any of the court's orders. At the last time, I think I handled the last MTR because I'm looking at the old report and I remember asking him about a meth pipe being on him when he was arrested at the last setting. This time he's admitted to being around people who smoke meth and marijuana, but somehow he ends up testing positive for those same drugs. And so he needs the structure of inpatient, so that's what we're asking for.
Okay, and was there a positive test for meth?
There was, Judge.
Judge, I don't have, I'm going to object that because I don't have, I requested any violation reports. I hadn't received that, so I'm going to object any testimony regarding that and asked to strike that from the record.
Well, he admitted to it, so it's evident.
No, he didn't admit to the positive test.
All right, anything else from either side?
Nothing from the state.
I just like to point out, obviously without structure and a place to live, it's a hole that's hard to dig himself out of. He now has now that his mother is aware of his issues, he now has a place of structure that he can go to. You heard testimony that she will not allow those friends, and that she will provide support. I think that's the support he needs so that he can get out and support his own children. And I'm asking that he be reinstated.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. Court is going to deny the motion, alternate amend conditions. He's going to be referred to felony drug court. If he's accepted into felony drug court, that's where he will be. And Mr. Jackson for felony drug court will then decide what conditions are best for you. Felony drug court has a very structured environment. If they think you need inpatient treatment, they'll give you inpatient treatment. They'll help you with employment. They'll help you with housing. They will help you get your life in order. If I were able to send you to ISF, I would send you there, but ISF is in flux because of COVID, so they're not accepting people. If there were a boot camp to send you to, I would send you to boot camp, but we really don't have that anymore. These are all things you need. If he is not accepted in a felony drug court, then I'm going to want him to go to SATA. Upon release, he will reside with his mother, Nakisha Hurd. He's going to be on partial GPS, and he will be allowed to work upon proof of employment. And the defendant is to remain in custody until he's either transferred to felony drug court or to SATA. Is there anything else from either side?
Nothing from the state.
Nothing from defense. I'd just like to be put in the room briefly to explain what just happened.
Mr. Jackson, you had better start getting your life together. We can go off the record. There's sympathy will only get you so far. And let me explain to you about sympathy. If you have a lease and you tell the person who is managing the apartment complex, I don't have money to pay my rent today, I have all these children to feed, they may have a little bit of sympathy and empathy for you, but at some point these are excuses. We are not accepting any more excuses. You see what you need to do, you need to do it. I'm just amazed by the fact that people are homeless, people can't get their education, all these things that people can't do, but they can still find time to be fruitful, multiply, have children that they're not financially supporting, which if you are not financially supporting your children, that means that taxpayers are financially supporting your children, or either they're living with their grandparents. And I guarantee you, there is no grandparent on the planet who wants to be anything but a grandparent. They don't want to be the mom. They don't want to be the dad. They want their grandchildren to come over for a few seconds, spoil them, and send them back to parents who are able to take care of them. I can't tell anybody to stop having children, but what I can tell you is, objectively, looking at what you have on the table, you cannot afford the children that you currently have. Now, will you be able at some point to do better, to be a great father? Yes. But if you continue on the road that you're on, which is using drugs, not handling your business, not getting employment, not getting your GED, you are not going to be able to support your children. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
Do not come back here unless you're coming back here because you've successfully completed everything, or because you just love coming to the 187 District Court. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And when you live with your mom, you need to follow your mom's rules. Until you get your own place, you are not grown. So
Yes,
if she
ma'am.
has a curfew for you, that's your curfew. If she doesn't want your friends coming over, your friends can't come over. If she wants you to wash dishes, sweep floor, mow lawn, then that's what you need to do. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sending you to breakout room number 1. Probation will meet you there and go over conditions with you. Everyone else, the court is going on its 2 o'clock break. Brenda needs her break. I need a break.
Judge, can I go into a breakout room with Ms. Hurd to get her address in case?
Yes.
Can she join us? I'd like to, because she's part of
I'm
the order.
sitting, Ms. Hurd, if you can go to breakout room number 1, and Rebecca, if you could go to number 1, please.
Tyrese, join us, please.
Yes, sir. Thank you again, Ms. Boyd.
You're welcome.
And,
Know better, do better.
And like you said about coming back to, I promise, and I promise, this is a promise and this is a word I can give on the stacks of just me and you. I am a good father, man. And I
Well,
want to
here's
keep
the
it
thing.
and I hold on, if you mind, if you don't mind me, like, least.
Mr. Jackson, here's the thing.
I'm
I don't want defendants speaking to me when their attorney is not present. And let
Yes,
me just
ma'am.
explain to you about being a good father. A good father is loving your children, sure enough, but they need
Yes,
more
ma'am.
than that. They need somebody to financially support them. I'm going to tell you what I tell everybody else. When you have a baby, I can't take that baby and put it in at, Travis Park and say, go forth and grow up on your own,
Yes, ma'am.
because they can't walk, they can't talk, they can't get their own food, they can't do any of that.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1 with your attorney and Mr. Nitz. He wanted to speak with me, but I told him not to without you present. So,
Okay, yeah.
Mr. Jackson,
Mr.
you
Jackson,
have the tools to do better, so just do better, okay?
I will, ma'am. Thank you so much for at least giving me the insight of how, it's a